Another thing I want to point to, so DeSantis made what I would say is a pretty based statement towards looters in the state. I want to roll this clip real fast.
The other thing that we're concerned about, particularly in those areas that were really hard hit, is, we want to make sure we're maintaining law and order. Don't even think about looting. Don't even think about taking advantage of people in this vulnerable situation. And so local law enforcement is involved in monitoring that. I told Kevin if the state needs to help as well, because you can have people bringing boats into some of these islands and trying to ransack people's homes. I can tell you, in the state of Florida, you never know what may be lurking behind somebody's home. And I would not want to chance that if I were you, given that we're a Second Amendment state.
So I love this. I mean, I'm very pro Second Amendment. I think people have every right to defend their person and their property from people who would do them harm. I think looting is disgusting. I'm fed up with the left not treating it like the violent, harmful crime it often is. And I think that that needs to be said. You often do see looting after these kinds of catastrophes, and that's awful to re-victimize people who've already been victimized in such circumstances. So I loved this defense. I loved that he was strong in this, and I totally back it. But he got called racist for it after this clip came out. Joy Reid, Joy Reid, who's a bit of a Looney Tune, she said, she quote tweeted his statement and said, quote, "When the looting starts, the shooting starts, segregationist Miami Sheriff Walter E. Headley, 1967. Didn't take DeSantis long to return to form," and she linked this NPR article about how that original statement, that is totally unrelated, was racially inclined. To which I would say the only thing racist I see here is her assumption that all the looters would be black. Like, DeSantis never brought racism. He didn't say anything about race. Like, ma'am, you took it there. Like, and so I thought this was absurd.
Yeah, no, it's very dumb because she's like, the fact that a segregationist, racist person once expressed a sentiment does not mean that anyone who ever expresses that sentiment, irrespective of race, is therefore a segregationist. Or like, a racist person in the past may have said a thing that is not racist inherently, or was fine. Like, it's not like nobody's wrong about every single thing. I just think this is absurd. Property rights are human rights, and I can't imagine what it means, what it must feel like to have somebody in the aftermath of a life-threatening, turning people's lives upside down disaster, somebody comes in and tries to rob you and take advantage of your suffering. And I absolutely love what DeSantis is saying. Mess around and find out. Stay strapped. If you try to break into somebody's home and rob them while they're recovering from a hurricane and you're met with a firearm in response, that's no more than you deserve, to be honest. And I'm glad that in a state like Florida, they protect people's rights to stand up for themselves rather than so many other states where they want to make it basically impossible for you to defend yourself. Because even in the best of times, when seconds count, the police are minutes away. In the aftermath of a hurricane, who's going to be able to get to you to help you, right? No, you're going to have to defend yourself in many situations. So I think it's based. I love to see it from DeSantis, and the shrieking critics need to touch grass.